Yo, 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 yo. What is good people? I welcome all of y'all back to a brand new episode of Yosef's 2 Cents. I am your man, Yosef Isaiah Benjamin, and man, have I missed all of you. Tonight, we got to get some things off of our chest tonight, because there has been a lot of things that has happened. We haven't been on the air in 3 months. In 3 months, we have not been on the air, but I have truly missed y'all. So sit back, unwind, relax, and for the next few moments, let's chop it up. Let's sit down and let us reason together one more time. Enjoy the music. We'll be back in a moment. All right. Welcome back again to another podcast episode of Yosef's 2 Cents. I am he, Yosef X. Now, Pastor Yosef Isaiah Benjamin is not here. He was on last night. Tonight, you get Yosef X. Besides, it's been 3 months since Yosef's 2 Cents has been presented on Facebook as well as YouTube. Now, let me see who has joined us. Brother Baron, peace and blessings upon you. Thanks for joining us. Miss Marla, good evening to you. Thank you for joining us as well, my dear. Erlene, what's going on? Thanks for joining us again. Listen, let me apologize for having to start over, because this is what Facebook did. They deliberately cut off my first live stream because I was playing the late great Black Rob's Whoa. Now, you all know full well that I always make the disclaimer that I do not own the copyrights to any songs played. I always make that disclaimer, and I always make that disclaimer at the heading of each live feed. But since Facebook is so pussyfied, they always find ways to jump off or to jump on somebody's podcast and restrict their viewers and restrict the numbers of listeners. See? And the reality of the matter is this, folks. That's another reason why I haven't even been on presenting Yosef's 2 cents in 3 months' time. Look, we're going to get to a lot of topics in a few moments. Listen, I've been podcasting now over 5 years. Now, when I started podcasting, I was talking major mucho macho-ish. I was. See? And the reality is I've matured as a man. For some, Sister Earlene, it's been longer than that. Brother Eric, what's going on, bro? Thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. Look, the reality is I've underwent a metamorphosis of maturity. I'm not that same trash talking man that I was 4 or 5 years ago, because every time I was talking, I was dropping F-bombs and every 4-letter word bombs I could think of. But between then and me getting all the way up to here now, I'm not the same person that I was before. In addition to me seeing some things, hearing some things going on with other people, and me having to face my own crisis and my own challenges, I had to calm down, not just for myself, but I also had to calm down for other people that's within my small circle. And see, don't get it twisted. I don't want any of you all to think that just because I've matured, that I'm a pushover. Most High willing, I'll be 40 years young in 2023. My 40th year of life, my 40th chapter of the lifetimes and chronicles of Yosef. There were some things that I had to learn to do. And one of the things that I had to learn to do was pick my fights and pick my battles very, very, very carefully. Brother Prime, what's going on, bro? Peace and blessings upon you. Good to see you tonight, man. I've had to mature as a man. There were some things that I really had to stop doing and saying. And then in recent times, you got people that's being knocked off, that's being killed. They're being killed for over nonsense and other reasons. Look, 5 years ago, I was having 14 and 15 people watching. And people fed into the BS that I was spewing. People was feeding off of the drama that I was feeding them. And I must admit to you, I was doing very well for myself. I was doing pretty good. I showed the promise. But over time, I had to mature. I had to mature for myself. I had to mature for myself because I had to come to realize, look, you can talk all that yin yang all you want. You can talk all that smack all you want. You can cap all you want. But at the end of the day, how are people going to remember you? And more importantly, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want to be remembered? As a man that was always with the shiznits, that was with the drama? Or do you want to be remembered as a man who was once immatured, but he slowly, and then eventually he matured to be a grown man? See, look, let me throw this out here too. When a preacher preaches somebody's eulogy, it's not really a eulogy. It's really a celebration, overview of how people live their lives. Because if you think about it, every single one of us tonight, as long as we live, as long as we're breathing, as long as we're walking and talking, we are preaching our own eulogies. We're preaching our eulogies now. You understand? We have always, I mean always, preaching our eulogies. That's what we do. We're preaching our eulogies. And when you preach your own eulogy, people pay attention to this. People pay attention. You understand? The preacher is just giving an overview of your life, your goals, your achievements, your accomplishments. But every man and every woman is preaching their eulogy, and they're not even preaching it from a pulpit. Because the world, the environment, the ecology that they're in, they themselves are preaching that. That's their pulpit. See? Listen, some of y'all have been with me even before I was podcasting, and I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate it. Let me see. Brother Eric says, picking battles is important. Sometimes the juice ain't worth the squeeze. No, it's not. It's not worth the squeeze at all. It's not. Which is another reason why I've had to learn to pick my battles and my fights and my wars more wisely. It's not about being a coward. It's about being wise. Feel me? See, we got a lot of things twisted and a lot of things warped in society today. We do. We got a lot of things twisted. We got a lot of things warped. We got a lot of things misunderstood. We have a lot of things misconstrued. Feel me? And one of them is that being wise. A lot of people are dumb enough to think that being wise is being a coward. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. You have people in the world, not just here in New York, but in the world right now, that used to be gangbangers, drug pushers, drug boys. And they would attest and they would testify to the fact that a whole lot of these so-called youngins out here, these so-called new young bloods out here, they really ain't about that life. You got some of these so-called rappers out here, they're not about that life. They just rap about it. Some of these cats come from the suburbs. They come from Caucasian communities. Yeah. They're not as tough as you think they are. They're not. Sterling says, yes, always stand your ground. That's what I've always tried my best to do. I've always tried to stand my ground. I've always tried my best to stand my ground. But please understand, it is not as easy as you think it is. It's not. Because to tell the truth in a time like this is certainly a revolutionary act. Because everybody's believing the BS. See? Everybody will much rather believe lies and BS than to be realists and stop being so idealistic and just accept things and people for how they are and who they are. Let me tell you how bad it's gotten. I had a homeboy one time to tell me that he was on the phone with his now ex-girlfriend, and he calls himself trying to be, truthful and trying to be honest with her. Letting them know, yo, look, I'm at such and such as house, and nothing is going on. He was actually making peace. If I don't remember how the story actually went, but long story short, when my man told his girlfriend at the time, they've since broken up, what was going down, he told her the truth, exactly where he was. She still got angry with him. All because he told her the truth. And so finally, not too long after, well, a little while after, he just finally cut her loose. That's just one example of people not accepting the truth for how it is. See? But nonetheless, it's good to be back. I'm glad to be able to be presenting to you Yosef's 2 cents again. I don't know if I'm going to be presenting another episode of Yosef's 2 cents. I'm not worried about that right now. What I am concerned about is tonight. It's good to see all of you tonight. I'm happy to see all of you. Like the video, share the video, tag your family and your friends on the Facebook side, on the YouTube side. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now, I want to talk briefly about the recently departed Jason David Frank. Now, for those of you that don't know who Jason David Frank is or was, he played the legendary Green Ranger back in 1993. I'm gonna need for the so-called powers that be to stop screwing up my damn Can y'all hear me? Before I go on, I want to make sure that you all hear me. And I'm going to need that the jackasses that's controlling my Wi-Fi to stop being such pussified buttholes and let me talk my trash tonight. Now, like I was saying before, I was to it is not my fault that we as melanated people are better than you. It is not my fault that we are the original life in the universe. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that we are melanated people and we're better than you. And besides, you even got some of your own people that don't even like you themselves. It's bad that when you even got some white people that don't like white people. That's bad. But at any rate, like I was saying, Jason David Frank, he was the Green Ranger. And I'm going to tell you something. In the early 90s, in 1993, speaking of 1993, Naughty by Nature, they came out with an album called 1993. But that's something different. But this Green Ranger, man, he was so cold. He was so stone cold that he gave the Power Rangers the business for 5 episodes. He sure did. He gave the Power Rangers let me tell you something. Let me tell you just how bad this dude was for those of you that don't know or never watched the Power Rangers. This dude was so cold that he actually went into the Power Rangers Zords. He beat the living snot out of them, threw them out of their swords back on the ground, and beat the hell out of them some more for 5 straight episodes. And all he did was have a flute or a dagger and a sword. This Green Ranger, yo, hey, who remembers this? Eric, you remember that, man? Listen, the Green Ranger was Thanos before Thanos. The Green Ranger was Thanos before Thanos. Sister Earlene and Brother Baron, y'all remember that? Y'all remember the Power Rangers? Listen. And soon he lost his powers, and then he became the White Ranger, and then he became the Red Zeo Ranger and the Turbo Ranger, then the Black Dino Thunder. Listen, he was just a tremendous martial artist, a tremendous actor. He was so charismatic, you know, and I found out recently that he was getting ready to have a movie. He was in the process of getting of making a movie. Yo, Daniel P, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us. He says the Green Ranger was playing no games. When he showed up, they were getting pimp slapped. Man, listen. Yo, he was beating them like they stole something, man. He was. Yo, the Green Ranger was nobody to be played with. I'm serious. He was a beast. And so, and I'm gonna tell you something. When I had some time at work, I had a chance to watch a couple of them episodes. When he was the evil Green Ranger, man, he was pimp slapping them hard. Brother Barrett said, I used to tackle my brother every day. Oh, man. Brother Eric said he had people at the edge of their seat. Always. Always. And listen, let me say this too. When I was 10 years old, you couldn't tell me nothing. When he was the Green Ranger and he became good, I was like, yo, I'm the Green Ranger, bro. All the rest of y'all sit down. You can't tell me nothing. I'm the Green Ranger. Then when he became the White Ranger, yo, I'm the White Ranger. Sit down. Or I pimp slap you. That's how we were as kids. You know how you used to pretend you were the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, the Red Ranger, the Pink Ranger. You know what I mean? That's how it was. That's how it was for us. You understand what I'm saying? That's how it was for us back in the day. And it seemed like those days, it was so much more simpler than today. It was almost as if times back then, life was a lot more simpler. And people had tougher skin. And people knew what gender they were. And you didn't have a whole lot of pretending. Those were some good times. But unfortunately, Our childhood hero is no longer with us. Because on November 20th of this year, he passed away. And the reports are saying that he passed away because he committed suicide. And at the time of his death, he was going through a terrible divorce. And the reports are saying that he had a horrible argument with his wife before he committed suicide. My condolences goes out to his family and his fans. I want to talk because this is another life lesson. And then on top of that, let me share this with y'all right quick. Let me get to your observations right quick. Erlene said, I was waiting on Green Slime to come out with each hit. Yo, he was a bad dude. He was. Whether he played the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, Red Ranger, Black Ranger, yo, he was a cold dude. Yeah. Brother Barron says, my brother used to say he was the Incredible Hulk. I couldn't wait until our parents left the house. Yo. Yeah, listen. We all were Power Rangers. We all had our favorite superheroes, man. Those were some fun times. Those were some of the best times we had as kids. It was. Daniel P says, I thought the Red Ranger was going to do something because he was the leader. Because he read. Well, that didn't mean a thing to the Green Ranger. Yo, you know what? If memory serves me correctly, in addition to the Green Ranger beating pimp slapping the Power Rangers for 5 episodes, right? Didn't he take the Pink Ranger from the Red Ranger too? Y'all remember that, right? Y'all remember that episode when the Green Ranger and Pink Ranger, they wound up getting together? Y'all remember that, right? The Green Ranger took the Pink Ranger from the Red Ranger. Y'all remember that? Oh. Yo, the Green Ranger, if he wasn't pimp slapping the Power Rangers, he was taking girlfriend, bro. Yo. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, the Pink Ranger was the girlfriend of the Green Ranger. Because in the episode, they were dating at the time. In the episode. Yeah. He did. He stole his girlfriend. He stole his girlfriend. Oh, man. Also, some sweet childhood memories, man. But I want to say again to his family and his friends, First off, I want to say not only do I convey my condolences to them, but I also want to say to his family, thank you for sharing Jason with the rest of the world. Yeah. Because being as legendary as Jason was and still is, you know, especially having a family, it's not easy for him to have a family and the family sharing him with the rest of the world. That, you know, there were moments where it did take its toll. It did. You know what I mean? So they sure did. They sure did. No doubt. Daniel P says he took the Red Ranger leading position in the team. I'm leading now. Sit your ass down in the back. No doubt, no doubt. That's exactly what happened. Now, let me say this, and this is real spill. The truth is, and this is where a life lesson comes into play. I'm sorry that man is gone. Listen, Mother Nadia, look at here. Don't let me morph into the Green Ranger. Don't let me morph into the Green Ranger. Matter of fact, I ain't got to morph into the Green Ranger. Your husband will morph into the Green Ranger and put you in your place. I ain't got to do nothing. Brother Baron is going to morph into the Green Ranger, call on the Dragonzord to put you back in your place. How about that? Anyway, congratulations to you again. I hope you and the baby are doing well. I know the baby's doing well. I know you doing well too. You coming for me. Yeah, you doing all right. But seriously, congratulations again on having a new addition to your family. Yeah. But let me say this right quick. Hey Giselle, what's going on? I didn't even see you pop in here. Good to see you tonight. And Marla in the background probably just shaking her head. Lord have mercy on me. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Look, let me say this right quick. Suicide is a very, very serious and a very sensitive subject. It really is. And what makes it so serious and so severe is life, especially today, man. Life is not easy. You understand? If you're not dealing with this whole pandemic, then you're dealing with people that just don't care about you, that don't have any regard or respect for human life. And the seriousness of life and its challenges, if one is not careful and if one is not rooted and grounded, guess what? It's a losing battle. Nadia, I'm gonna deal with you in a few minutes. Cause it's gonna take the Green Ranger, your husband, and me, the White Ranger, let me finish my point. See, suicide, it has claimed the lives of so many of our family and our friends. The severity and the seriousness of life itself is so difficult now that you even have 10-year-old children killing themselves because they're being picked on in school because they have a medical condition that they have no control over. This is how serious life is. And the reality also is this. Let me also say this. Another example of the severity of life is that there are more single men and there are more single women than ever before. And I said at the outset of this podcast that this poor soul, this human being who was beloved and honored and respected worldwide was going through a terrible divorce. And the strain and the stress of him thinking about possibly losing everything, it got to him. Do you know how many men have killed themselves because suicide? They figured that suicide was their only way out of having to be severely punished in divorce court. Because the reality is this. Peep this. As of 2016, divorce cases became a divorce industry that was worth $56 billion. $56 billion. Fast forward to 2022. And it's almost $60 billion. It's almost $60 billion now. Men are sick and tired of Jezebels. Period. Men are sick and tired of the Jezebels. Now, listen. Let me get to Daniel P's observation. It says, bro, remember when McDonald's used to have Power Rangers toys in the Happy Meals and it came with the belt buckle with the animal in it? Man, we as kids used to pop that in our belt buckles. We thought we had the power for it. Man, listen, you ain't lying about that. That's facts. That's facts, for real, for real. That's facts. That's facts. That's facts, for real, for real. But let me throw this out here too. Because I know that after hearing reports and reading bits and pieces of it about him being in the middle of a horrible divorce, the deep divide between man and woman just got worse. So look at it. Unfortunately, this man kills himself. He was going through a horrible divorce. The deep divide between man and woman just got worse. Just got worse. Newsflash. Since men are sick and tired, excuse me a minute. Since men are sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's why men are walking away. Daniel P brings up a good point. He says, we don't know what could she be taken from it after divorce. And it could and can take everything away that he built and it took his toll on. That's exactly what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking. That's a very good point, Daniel P. That's a very good point. Which also strengthens my argument as to why men ain't get married anymore. It ain't worth it to them. It ain't worth it at all. And I'm going to say this also. We live, unfortunately, in a very matriarchal society. We live in a very wicked matriarchal society. You understand? And men ain't putting up with this BS anymore. Not happening. Men have feelings also. Men get sick and tired. And men are saying to hell with marriage and to hell with you Jezebels. That's the way it is now. See? But let me throw this. Let me get, as a matter of fact, let me get to your observations. The rich handle stress different. They never had to struggle or live in poverty, says Earlene. Daniel P says that divorce destroyed him on all levels. He loved so hard and fought so hard to hold on to the point that he had nothing else to give and sadly to live for. It's sad, bro. Like Brother Barron said earlier, it's a sad situation. It's a sad situation. But let me also say this. Remember I said sometime a few seconds ago, that men are sick and tired of these Jezebels? Let me also throw this out here too. And I might be wrong when I say this, but this is my suspicion. See, a lot of these women, right? They call themselves celebrating getting divorced and all this kind of stuff. And they all on social media platforms talking about they living their best life. That's bull. Because I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of these Jezebels, they ain't living their best life. They're struggling to make ends meet. You got a lot of them that's sleeping on their friend's couch. They going from house to house sleeping on a couch. They're lonely, they're miserable, and they're struggling, and they're capping. And see, here's the thing. All they had to do, right? This is really all they had to do. All they had to do was not get out of pocket. See, this is called role reversal. You got females acting masculine, and then you got males acting feminine. And then everybody is so politically correct and overly sensitive. These are the times that excuse me a minute. That's the kind of times that we're living in. It's the truth. Feel me? It's the truth. Now, here's something else that needs to be said too. Now, I know some of y'all are saying not every woman is like this and blah, blah, blah. I get that. And you're right. Not every woman is like that. But to some of the ladies that's asking the question, where are all the good men gone? Especially the ones that will make good wives, that will make excellent wives, that will make excellent mothers, right? Well, I'm going to also say this to the ones that are single that will make excellent wives and excellent mothers, and you're single. You are every bit the problem, just like these Jezebels are. You know why? The reason why you're every bit the problem as the rest of these Jezebels is because you kept silent. You were silent. I could count the number of women on one hand that was correcting these toxic Jezebels. So you definitely don't get a pass neither. Now, had there been more of you that are not Jezebel speaking out, then you wouldn't be in the same position as these Jezebels. But you decided to stay quiet and not G-check these Jezebels. And these Jezebels are the same ones that is causing you to be chronically single. See, that's also another pink elephant in the room. You got a doggone near $60 billion industry in divorce cases. And then you hate rejection. You don't want to be corrected. You just want the title of a wife, but you don't want the responsibility that goes along with that title. And then you expect for a man to come along and bail you out like you're a damsel in distress. Yo, this is the bed that you made. Now you lay in it. Plain and simple. This is the bed that you made. Now you got to lay in it. And nobody's going to be feeling sorry for you. Daniel P asked the question, didn't he live in Cali? No, I heard he lived in Houston, Texas. He had a dojo in Houston, Texas. That's what I heard. He had a dojo in Houston, Texas. And see, what makes you silly Jezebel so stupid is the fact you're anti-man, you're anti-boy, you're anti-masculinity, right? You're preaching all this BS, talking about that you strong, and some of y'all can't even pronounce strong. You're strong, and you independent, and you don't need no man. I wonder how many of you are saying that yin yang now. How many of you talking that trash now? It's quiet. You talking about you strong, and independent. You strong. You ain't so strong now, is you? Yeah. You were talking about you strong and you independent. You don't need no man. You better than a man. You still saying that now? Huh? You ain't saying all that now, is you? Of course you not. And you capping. You talking about you living your best life. And the nerve of some of you goofies, you goofettes, talking about you going to Dubai. Do you know how the men treat their women over there in Dubai, in them countries? Man, they go upside their women's head with their sandals. Then you got these eyelashes. Your eyelashes is as long as my hand. They don't even look like eyelashes. They look like they could be caterpillars. Yeah, man. But let me ask y'all you Jezebels a question though. Are you warm during this winter season? Huh? Y'all warm, right? Y'all nice and warm and toasty. Now y'all saying that you didn't need no man. You the one that said you don't need no man. You saying that you don't want no man. Then y'all have done everything you could. I mean, off the top of my head, let me just run down some of the things that you all have done to cause all kinds of destruction to the human family. And it started back in 1970, 2 years after Dr. King's assassination. You kicked the melanated father out of the house, and it snowballed into every father getting kicked out of the house, doggone near. You kicked the father out of the house for government assistance. Then you started using abortions like it's birth control pills. Don't no sane man in his right mind want to stick his wangama thing in some doggone graveyard, because that is what your wombs has become, a damn graveyard. because ever since 1990, 1,300 melanated babies alone was killed every single day. And then the nerve of you goofies to get all upset when Roe versus Wade was overturned. Google, when was Roe versus Wade overturned?
According to history.com.
Hold on. Google, when was Roe versus Wade overturned?
According to Guttmacher Institute, on June 24, 2022, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade, the landmark 1973 Supreme Court decision that affirmed the constitutional right to abortion.
You got upset over that, right? And when you got upset over that, then you were advocating. You didn't want the honorable and decent man. And you talking about you didn't need no man. You strong and you independent. What do you have to say now, ma'am? Any comments? I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna ask you again. Do you have any comments? What are your comments on the fact that you chose to be a single mother instead of a wife? How do you feel about being a concubine instead of a wife, ma'am? Any comments? Do you feel like a doofus? Is that what it is? You feel like a doofus? I guess you do. But see, you brought all of this on yourself. Oh, but I can't get on the women without getting on the pussified simps also. Because you put the vajayjay on a pedestal. Yeah, you did. 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 You refused to correct these Jezebels. And you started boosting their heads up. And especially with these struggle faces. These poverty-faced critters. Man. Look at the mess that we're in. All right, I've been on for a little over an hour. I'm gonna have to go ahead and wrap this up in a few minutes. And then the very same ones are you idiots that was celebrating abortion or getting mad over abortion, especially when Georgia overturned it. You don't even have no idea why they're making abortions illegal, you idiots. It's survival. That's what it is. It's a survival of the fittest. Yo, Daniel P., there's some sickos out here, bro. That's why no man in his right mind wants to be bothered with a compromised woman. If she's not a Wangama thing, a connoisseur of Wangama things, and she don't have a whole daycare center in her throat and in her stomach from being so promiscuous, it's this stuff right here. And Margaret Sanger, she was one of the biggest racists in the entire history of the United States. Man, listen. But see, all of this could have been avoided had they not acted the way they've been acting. And then here's something else, too, that you have to realize. Most melanated men prefer to be with melanated women. Most melanated men want to be with a woman that looks like him in pigmentation. So when a man goes outside of his nationality, he's going because he's looking to be loved and respected and celebrated, not tolerated. So you wicked Jezebels, you push that man in the arms and the legs of other women of other nationalities. I'm going to throw that out there too, because that's what's been going on for a long time. And you mad at him because you don't want him to walk away. You really expect for him to tolerate your shenanigans and your bull. Yo, I'm convinced. For any woman that gets mad at a man for walking away from disrespect, you are a damn fool. You're a fool. You are a fool. You're a fool. And no man in his right mind is going to continue being disrespected. Now, here's something else that's getting ready to come on the horizon even more so too, whether you want to admit it or not. Peep this. See, a man, and this is men in general, not just a melanated man, but this is men in general, but especially the melanated man, men in general, but especially him. Watch this. It went from being hurt and heartbroken to cold and indifferent. There's going to be a whole lot more men that's going to walk away from you toxic Jezebels. It's coming. It's coming. See, you out here, you capping. Some of you goofies are ridiculous. I promise you. Some of y'all would much rather be concubines than housewives. I saw one of you goofies talking about you proud to be a side piece. You flexing because you a side piece. Yo. Ain't that ridiculous? Ain't that ridiculous? But unfortunately, that is the world that we are living in right now. Man, there's really just no hope for a lot of people. Some of these goofies and some of these dudes. Oh, listen, these dudes. I've been getting on the women all night long. I'm gonna get on some of these soft ass niggas for a second. Because some of you soft ass niggas ain't worth a damn neither. Y'all not, bruh. How the hell you gonna get mad at a dude for wearing a 3-piece suit? How you gonna inbox a man's girlfriend's sister and ask the question in front of your girlfriend? You gonna ask why he got to be wearing all them suits? Why he got to be wearing all them kinds of jewelry? Why he got to be getting a haircut? Nigga, who the hell raised you? Like, really? Who raised you? Who? Some of you niggas were raised by single mothers, bro. Y'all didn't have a masculine influence in your life at all. Some of y'all got the disposition of a sorry ass single mother. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not saying that all single mothers are bad, but the toxic ones, man, look. I'm serious. Daniel P says destroying and disrespecting, extorting black men is a culture now with over 60 years in the making. Thus, we have no choice but to walk away. Save yourself, black man, passport for something better. I get it. I get it. Believe me, I completely get it. Some of these goofies are still are wondering if a black man is still going to be in support of them. Hell no, they're not going to be in support of them. Because a lot of black men are like this. Look. I support my wife. I protect my wife. I protect my family. Brother Barron, I'm going to tell you something, big bro. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not the least bit surprised. And it's sad and it pains my heart for me to say that, but I'm really not surprised. See, I was talking to my friend about his family generation and he's dumb as hell. I can believe it. I can believe it. Some goofette walks away from her husband and her child, thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. Hey, Johnny, is the grass greener on the other side? Nope, it's not. But let's try it again. What about door number 2, Johnny? Is the grass greener on the other side on door number 2? Guess not. Daniel P says you can't even use proper grammar and English on these dudes without them getting passed off having their panties in a twist. It's a damn shame. Shake my head. Listen. Brother Barron says, you know these dumbass women are colorblind. Brother Barron, they're more than colorblind. They're just blind, period. And because they're blind, this is what needs to happen. This is what needs to happen. Yep. Or they need to be slapped. So, I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you one bit. I don't. I don't blame you one bit. I don't blame you. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get off because it's 9 o'clock, and I know you mortals are celebrating holidays, and y'all preparing your food. But before I make my final observations, I throw in my final 2 cents. I want to say again, I thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in on Facebook as well as YouTube. I do appreciate it. Like the video, share the video, tag your family and your friends on Facebook side, on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. There's one more thing that I wanted to mention. And that is the recent murders of all of these young black men, these young melanated men. I know it was 2 recently, P&B Rock and Takeoff. But off the top of my head, there's a third one, Pop Smoke. Those 3 young men, unfortunately, are no longer here with us. All of those young men that I made mention of, they all died under the age of 30. Now, I'm getting ready to teach y'all something. I want you to pay attention. All right. Those 3 young men, they all died under the age of 30. But there are reasons why they died. They all have reasons why they died. First and foremost, all 3 of those young men, they reached the heights of economic security and success. All right. When you reach, I don't care who you are, when you reach the heights of economic security and success, you cannot afford to be among the general public anymore. You can't. You can't. And the reason why you cannot be among the general public anymore is because you always are going to have people that is jealous of you. When you reach the heights of economic success and security, you move into a totally different tax bracket. You move into a totally different tax bracket. Doggone it, tax bracket matters. And among the general public, there are certain places in neighborhoods that's Hollywood, not Hollywood. It's the ghetto, it's hood. You cannot afford to associate yourself with hood-ish. You can't. You can't afford to be caught up with ghetto-ish. You can't. You know that you got some niggas right now that are jealous of other young rappers that's going to reach the heights of economic security and success. And the very second that they find out that they've reached it, guess what? Guess what? They're plotting and they're scheming and conniving to take that man out, and to make it so bad, a lot of these dudes, they don't necessarily have to know who you are. They just are jealous of you because you have something that they don't. So that's the first reason. The second reason is because they didn't have armed bodyguards. Now, when I was at work one day, a few days back, I made a brief video when I was at work. And I was talking about the tragic murder of Takeoff over a dice game. A dice game. See, that's that hood-ish I be talking about. See, life is a journey, ladies and gentlemen. Hear me good. And I'm closing. Life is a journey. And see, all of us are on different journeys. Sometimes in life, you outgrow people. Sometimes in life, people outgrow you. And the reality is, we've all got to come to realize this truth, this reality. We cannot afford to be afraid to outgrow people. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with wanting to give back, but you have to learn sometimes you just got to love people from a distance. You do. You have got to learn to love people from a distance. Master P left the hood, man. He left the hood a long time ago. When he reached the success economically that he's reached, he chunked up them deuces, bruh. The same can be said about 50 Cent. He chunked up them deuces to the hood, man. He gone. But he gives back to the community. But he does it from a distance. I'm going to tell y'all something. And I want y'all to listen to me very carefully. Yeah, I did hear about that, Daniel P. I did hear about Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman. Yeah, he died of cancer. My condolences to his family. My condolences to his family. But let me say this. My advice to any of you that's listening to me, if there should ever come a time where you reach the heights of economic security and success, my advice to you is you shut down all of your social media platforms. Shut them down. And be prepared to say goodbye to a lot of people. Because you can't even tell everybody what you got going on. You can't. Listen, give me 20 more minutes, y'all. Give me 20 more minutes and then and we're gonna wrap it up. Give me 20 more minutes and I'm out. You can't afford to tell everybody what your blessings and your miracles and your breakthrough. You can't do it. Because everybody is not going to be proud of you. You got people in your corner right now that's rooting for you to fail. You understand me? You got people right now that's in your corner, that's in your circle. They're in your circle, but they're not in your corner because they want to see you fail. You're going to have to ghost them. And I'm telling the men and the women this. If you ever reach the heights of economic security, you're going to have to cut off a lot of people. Stop trying to bring everybody along with you. Stop it. You're going to have to ghost them. Because everybody is not going to be cheering for you. Shut down all of your social security, your social media. Shut them down. And understand and accept the reality that not everybody is going to be cheering for you. I also suggest that you keep in contact with very few people. Only keep in contact with the people that you respect. You understand me? Keep in contact with people that you respect. Everybody else, leave them alone. And I'm advising you all to do this because, number one, you're saving your own life. And number two, you're also saving the life of your family. Feel me? Because it's not meant for everybody to be going along with you. And that's another reason why a lot of y'all ain't blessed yet. You still got this mentality of saying, when the Most High blessed me with this, that, and the third, blah, 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 I'm going to do this and do that. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C, and D. When the Most High is saying, nah. The blessings that I have for you is only for you. It is not for your family. It's not for your friends. You're going to have to let them go. And Daniel P, let me share this with you. This is especially for you. I want you to listen to me real good. I see your talent, bro. I see your talent. I see your talent. I see you singing. I see you dancing. And you got it, bro. You got talent, bro. The talent is undeniable. It is. But you got to be careful, bro. And let me talk to you business people with businesses. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all got to be careful also. You can't let everybody know the business you got going on. Because if they're not jealous of you, guess what? Then they plotting to kill you because you got what they are too lazy to acquire themselves. Y'all better be careful too. I want you to hear me tonight. Daniel P is one of the most talented cats out here, man. And I'm not just saying that either. I've seen his talent. That man's got the moves, man. I want him to be careful. But not just brother Daniel P, but I also want my Facebook friends that are business owners that's making 6 and 7 figures. Y'all better be careful, bro. And peep this. If you really don't want to get off of social media altogether, hire an administrator to handle your Facebook business profiles and all of the rest of the social media sites that you're going to be on. Hire an administrator. Don't you yourself be on there, because if you yourself are going to be on there, you're going to be drawing unwanted attention to yourself. Y'all didn't think I knew this, did you? Well, you do now. I'm serious. Y'all excuse me a minute. I want you to hear your brother tonight. I don't want y'all ending up like P&B Rock. I don't want y'all ending up like Pop Smoke. I don't want y'all ending up like Takeoff. I don't want that for y'all. Whether you're a businessman or a businesswoman or an entertainer like Daniel P, I don't want that for y'all. I want y'all to be careful out here. Because every single day, things and people continues to grow increasingly worse. Y'all better be careful out here. I'm going to say this too. If I ever reach the heights of economic security and success, guess what? You will never see me or hear from me on social media again, unless I am also armed with bodyguards. That's something else you need to consider also, if you ever reach that height. I mean that. Because not only are you protecting yourself, you are also protecting your family members. that's closest to you. You understand me? I mean it. Yeah, man. It's dangerous out here. Very dangerous. It's 20 minutes after the hour, 9 o'clock. I'm getting ready to wrap things up. I held y'all long enough. And I want to say to all of you that has been listening tonight, I thank you all so much for listening. I appreciate all of you for listening. We're getting ready to get out of here. But I also want to say this, and then we're gone. Everything that's going on out here is weaponized. You've heard the old cliche, the bigger the blessing, the higher the level, the greater the devils, or somewhere along those lines. Y'all better be careful, man. Businessman, businesswoman, entertainer, whatever. Everybody's not going to be on your side. Have you really paid attention to how these celebrities move? Have you? Have y'all really paid attention to how these celebrities move? Have you? I mean, have you really, really paid attention to how they really move? Have you? Because honestly, I really don't think you have. But I'm going to let you in on a secret. These celebrities, you never see them on social media with shenanigans. As a matter of fact, you never see them on social media hardly. And if you do find them on social media, you best believe they got armed guards. Celebrities, especially if they are well off and they're millionaires several times over, they move in silence. They move differently. And they have to move differently because they're setting themselves up to be targets. They're setting themselves up to be targets. Last thing you want is to be bringing unwanted and unnecessary attention to yourself. Because there's a lot of things you have to consider. And one of the things you have to consider is that, what if you're married? What if you got a wife? What if you got a husband? What if you got a child or children? And see, a lot of people that's on social media, the truth is, the reason why they're on social media is because, they call themselves trying to be famous and trying to be popular. But these internet celebrities, I'm going to tell y'all something. These internet celebrities, in about 20 or 30 years' time, guess what they're going to be? They're going to be afterthoughts. They're not going to be internet famous forever. They're not. They're not going to be internet famous forever. Because all these internet celebrities in 20 or 30 years' time, they're going to be afterthoughts. They are. In 20 or 30 years' time, they're going to be afterthoughts. Ain't nobody going to remember them. Nobody's going to remember them at all. So in parting, I say this. More moves, less announcements. You understand me? More moves, less announcements. Move in silence. Because moving in silence will not only save your life and save your family's life, but it can also extend, and it will extend, your mortality. Everybody want to be internet famous. Everybody want to be internet successful. Man, later for that. Because I'm going to be honest with you. As a matter of fact, for those of y'all that are still with me, let me ask y'all this in closing. You can't say both. You have to choose one or the other. Here's my question. Would you much rather be popular, or would you much rather be rich and well off for the rest of your life? Ain't got to worry about nothing. Or I'll ask again, would you rather be popular or would you rather be wealthy, rich, well off? It can't be both. It has to be one or the other. It can't be both. It has to be one or the other. Would you much rather be popular or well off, wealthy? It cannot be both. It has to be one or the other. For me, I would much rather be well off than to be popular. I'm just being straight up with you. I would much rather be well off than to be popular if I had that choice. What about you? Think about it. Would you rather be popular or would you much rather be well off? See, people be doing and saying things for popularity because they're narcissistic. And a lot of these internet celebrities, man, they don't have all that talent in the world. They don't have talent at all. They don't have talent at all. So y'all not going to answer my question. If you had a choice between being popular and being wealthy, which one would you rather be? Which position? I told you where I stood. I would much rather be wealthy and well off than to be popular. Because you got a lot of popular people, but they broke they broke. They mad broke. They broke. But you got a lot of wealthy people in the world, and nobody knows who they are. Anyway, just think about it. Just go ahead and really, really think about that. I ain't gonna hold y'all any longer. I think the reason why y'all didn't answer that question is because that was a heavy question for me to ask you. The next time I come on the air, I want some answers. And I'm going to raise this question with y'all again, too. Give y'all some time to think about it. It can't be both. It's got to be one or the other. The question is, if you had a choice to be popular or wealthy, which position would you rather have? You cannot say both. You can't say both. You can't. You cannot say both. Would you rather be popular or would you rather be wealthy? It can't be both. I said I would much rather be wealthy than to be popular. Because you got a lot of popular people, they broke as a joke. They broke as jokes. So think about it. Popularity or wealth? Which one would you rather have? And with that said, folks, I arrest my case. Well, I tell y'all what. We'll talk. That, you know what? That might be a good subject to talk about sometime. Yeah. But listen, I've had a ball, man. I've had a ball, but the clock on the wall says that is all for now. Thank y'all so much again for listening. Like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Like the video, share the video, tag your family and your friends on Facebook side. And donate to the cause. The Cash App ID is still the same. $ Hidden One Truth. That's $ Hidden One Truth. Until next time, I'm Yosef X. That's been my 2 cents. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace and blessings upon you. See you when I see you. I'm out. Have a good night.